This video is sponsored by Current. Many celebrities we watched in the early 2000s went on to achieve amazing things and lived out their dreams. Some returned to normal lives, but others not so much. With the pressure of growing up in the Hollywood industry, it's no doubt some ended up committing crimes and losing all the charm they once had. In today's video, we'll be talking about childhood actors who became horrible criminals. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. You guys notice something different? We got the golden baby up on the wall now. And also, the next upload is gonna be the second 1 million special. We're already at like 1.1 million, which is, thank you guys so much. It's gonna premiere live, and let's just say, it's gonna be on other services, streaming services as well. June 15th, new music video premiering live. Different genre, we're switching it up, and I can't wait for you guys to see. I'm so excited. June 15th, June 15th, June 15th. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to see some sneak peeks. But June 15th is also the same day we're releasing the second Earl drop. Earl is my clothing brand, in case you guys don't know. We are now switching that Earl to this Earl. Look at that. Look like a streetwear brand, right? And our quality is so much better. Here, look at this. This is an embroidered hoodie, and it's a summer hoodie, which means it's lightweight for summer nights. Dude, I'm telling you, there's so many things that are gonna be sold on the store. We have champion shirts and champion hoodies. It's so fucking cool. Anyway, let's get on with the video. But first, let me tell you guys about today's sponsor, Current. Current is the future of banking and runs entirely off your phone with a dedicated mobile app and debit card. Just look how beautiful she is. With Current, there's no minimum balance requirement, so there's no pressure of not being able to spend a certain amount of money. You can also get your paycheck 2 days faster with direct deposit. I mean, who doesn't want to get their paycheck faster than all of your coworkers? That's just the flex. The rise of inflation in the past 40 years has caused Americans to pay more for basic essentials. That's why they announced the launch of Current Interest, a high-yield offering that will allow anyone with a current personal account to earn a 4% annual percentage yield, aka APY, all from the money on your current account. Yes, I said 4%. That's 60 times the national average. So what I actually did is I added the Current card to my Apple Pay, and here's some footage of me buying some AA batteries on Amazon. The cool thing is you get notifications for what you spend money on. Best of all, Current is giving me $2,000 to give away to you guys. You guys know I only accept sponsorships from companies I actually really trust and value, and Current is one of them. I literally can't wait to send some of you guys money. Whoa, what am I turning into, Mr. Beast? But all you gotta do is download the app and use code TUV, T-U-V, all capital, so you don't miss out on the future of banking. Thanks to Current for sponsoring us, and now let's head back to the video. Drake Bell. Drake Bell, one of the stars of the 2004 Nickelodeon hit sitcom Drake and Josh. In the show, he played the cooler stepbrother that had a way with girls but wasn't that smart. Meanwhile, the other brother, played by Josh Peck, was the sweeter, more innocent half. Together, they made a dynamic duo whose adventures never failed to make 2000s kids laugh. The show ran for 4 seasons from 2004 to 2007, and even had a movie that premiered on Nick as well, Drake and Josh Go Hollywood. After the show ended, Dan Schneider's shows still continued. Though Schneider is a disgusting person, he still gave us some great shows. We had Zoe 101, Victorious, and iCarly. But what happened to the stars of Drake and Josh? Well, Josh Peck continued his acting and voice acting career, though when you have a role that iconic, it's kind of hard for people to not see you as that thing alone. I mean, Macaulay Culkin still gets called the Home Alone kid to this day. Anyway, Josh Peck really mirrored his TV persona, as he really seems to be a whole,some dude.
I don't want to hear about your fucking fathers and how their assholes work, alright? It makes me sick, and I fucking hope they fucking die of disease.
Okay, maybe not that clip. He returned to relevance in 2013 when he began making silly vines. Some were collabs with other popular Viners, and some were just him embracing the Josh Nichols character. As we all know, Vine shut down in late 2016, but luckily for Josh, he was friends with David Dobrik, who was peaking at that time. Not saying Josh needed him, but David including him in vlogs really gained him a new audience, kept him relevant, and not only that, he's incredibly funny. Though when the whole David Dobrik and Dirty Dom controversy was going down in 2021, Josh removed all traces of being friends with David Dobrik. Fast forward to today, and he's following David again. So it just seems like he waited for the situation to die down until he could publicly support him again. He lives happily with his wife Paige and son Max. Oh yeah, he's also pretty famous on TikTok. Now that we got done talking about the wholesome brother, let's talk about Drake Bell. Drake Bell actually has a history of crimes on his criminal record before the major one, which we'll talk about. In 2009, 2 years after Drake and Josh ended, 23-year-old Bell received a DUI due to driving under the influence. Though it appears that warning wasn't loud enough, as in 2015, reports indicate that just after 2:45 in the morning in Glendale, California, police observed a vehicle speeding and swerving. When stopped by police, they smelled alcohol on Bell, and they requested a breathalyzer test, though he refused. Since this was his second DUI in a 10-year span, Drake needed to spend mandatory time in jail. The court sentenced him to 4 days in jail along with a 4-year probation period, though he didn't spend 4 days. he spent one. This was apparently due to good behavior. He also had to attend an alcohol education program. In 2020, Drake's ex-girlfriend Melissa Lingafelt made some disturbing statements on TikTok claiming that Bell abused her during their time together. They dated in 2006 when she was 16 and he was 20. Why that slipped under the rug, I don't know. She says that he verbally and physically abused her. I'll play some of her TikTok here.
When I started dating Drake, I was 16. I was homeschooled. I moved in with him. I was singing. It wasn't until about a year when the verbal abuse started. And when I say verbal abuse, imagine the worst type of verbal abuse you could ever imagine, and that was what I got. It then turned into physical, hitting, throwing, everything. At the pinnacle of it.
Drake responded to this by saying that the claims were false and the most he did was call her names, which she returned back. Then, in 2021, reports came out that Drake Bell had exchanged inappropriate messages with a 15-year-old girl. Melissa, which is his ex, had this to say: "What he's being arrested for right now is a prime example of what I would witness. Him having inappropriate conversations online with underage girls. I saw really questionable, crazy shit on his computer. The stuff he'd be looking at was fucking insane." In July of 2021, Drake Bell was sentenced to 2 years probation on child endangerment charges. The victim, who was 19 in 2021, stated that he'd done a lot of damage to her life, including the fact that he began grooming her when she was only 12 years old, and that the messages became, quote, blatantly sexual once she turned 15. Drake would soon address this on an Instagram video, so let's hear what he had to say.
"I'm not perfect, and I made mistakes. I responded to a fan whose age I didn't know, yet when I became aware of their age, all conversation and communication stopped. And this individual continued to come to shows and pay for meet and greets, and all while I was unaware that this was the same person I was communicating with online. And that's what I pled guilty to. It was reckless and irresponsible text messages. I want to make clear that there were no sexual images. Nothing physical between me and this individual. I was not charged with anything physical.
But yeah, very horrible situation for the victim, and very stupid decisions made by a once beloved actor. Kyle Massey. Kyle Massey began his journey to stardom in the hit Disney Channel show That's So Raven. The show released in 2003 where he played Corey Baxter, the charismatic 12-year-old brother of his psychic sister, Raven. His career seemed to only be going up, even getting his own spin-off show Corey in the House in 2007. He continued appearing in Disney shows, movies, and soundtracks. Did you guys know he voiced Milo on Fishhooks? I thought that was pretty cool. Anyway, as he got older he began to focus on music, even forming a rap duo with his brother known as the Massey Boys. As time went on, he had smaller roles in other shows, but none were as big as That's So Raven and Corey in the House. He also started a solo rap career, and it's not that bad.
Double tap my bitch, you like all her pics, plus she's super thick, plus she's super thick.
But there's just something about the same kid from That's So Raven and Corey in the House rapping about fucking thick bitches. It's a little shocking. Anyway, on June 29th, 2021, Massey was charged in King County, Washington on one count of immoral communication with a minor, where he allegedly sent lewd photos to a 13-year-old girl. The criminal charge came after a 2019 lawsuit whose allegations Massey denied, saying that the lawsuit was an extortion attempt, and that in early 2019, the attorneys representing the minor had demanded $1.5 million, threatening to go public with the allegation if he did not comply. The lawsuit also stated that Massey had known the accuser since she was 4 years old. Though Kyle failed to appear in court, that ended up with a warrant of $100,000 being issued for his arrest. From the research I've done, it doesn't seem like there's any further details past the ones that were already revealed. Kyle's mother has actually gone on multiple podcasts defending her son, which probably isn't the best thing to do, but a mother's gonna do what a mother's gonna do, right? Seems he's still active on social media, but this entire case is definitely gonna have an effect on getting roles in the entertainment business. I just want to make it clear that I'm not saying that any of these people in this video are guilty. I am simply stating public information that I found from articles. Like always, all my sources will be linked down in the description below. Orlando Brown. Since we're talking about That's So Raven, let's talk about Orlando Brown, who was also part of the lead cast playing Eddie Thomas. After leaving Disney in 2007, he decided to focus on music. He remained on the music path, and in fact, it's still what he does to this day. If you guys hear a dog barking, I'm so fucking sorry. It's my neighbors. I can't. That's not my dog. That is not my dog. I'm so sorry. Anyway, Brown's legal troubles began in 2016 when he was 29 years old. Well, documented legal troubles. On February 28, 2016, in Torrance, California, Brown was arrested and later charged with domestic battery, obstruction of justice, drug possession with intent to sell, and possession of contraband in jail, following an altercation with his then girlfriend in public. Police were called to the scene after he struck her in the parking lot of a police station, and he was found by officers to be in possession of methamphetamine at the time of the incident. He failed to appear for a scheduled court date in relation to the charges, and a warrant was issued for his arrest. He was eventually taken into custody by police on March 18, 2016. Following his release from jail, he again failed to appear for a scheduled court date, and a warrant was again issued for his arrest. He fled California for Nevada and was eventually found by bounty hunters.
Listen to me, you You left California. It's a felony when you flee.
I didn't flee.
What are you doing here then, brother? You got a warrant for your arrest.
I'm working.
You're fucking lost. You need help.
I wouldn't care if someone crawled through my window tonight.
2 months after that, Brown was arrested by police after they found meth and a meth pipe on him. He also had another warrant out for his arrest. And in that same year, actually, Brown revealed a new tattoo on his neck, that being of Raven Simone from That's So Raven. Speaking of Raven, Orlando Brown actually had this to say about her on a Vlad TV interview.
I mean, I told you in the first interview, I mean, she gave me, and then I gave her some,
Yeah, very interesting statement. He was admitted into rehab after an intervention with friends and family. Sadly, that only lasted a week, and an embarrassing video of him got posted online, which was basically him just getting kicked out of a friend's house.
Look at this dirty ass feet.
Yep.
This bum ass try to get this some love. He wants shit on you. Yep. Now I know why he ain't got no family.
What?
Get the fuck away from here.
I got gun!
You better get away from my house or you get knocked the fuck out.
Knocked out for calling God? Bro, I'm chilling, bro.
Get away from my house, yo.
I'm away from your house. Hit me. I'm away. I'm off your
If
property.
you come back over there, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
I'm off your property.
You wait over here for the police.
I'm off your property.
Then in 2018, he appeared on the Dr. Phil show. It was a very odd appearance. At one point, he says that there's a 2-year-old in his baby mama's stomach, like it just hasn't been born yet.
And what's the 2-year-old's name?
2-year-old, still in the belly. Still in the belly. We don't know yet.
Okay. And what's the 5-year-old's name?
That's Mason.
Yeah, you could tell he just wasn't in the right headspace. Heading over to April of this year, Orlando actually appeared on the No Jumper podcast, coolest podcast in the world. Speaking of podcasts, I'm starting one on my second channel, so make sure to go subscribe to that. Anyway, it seems Orlando Brown really made a change for the better in his life. He articulates himself extremely well and explains he regrets his drug addiction.
I had a 2-year binge of something that I should have never, ever indulged in.
Meth?
Yes. It's a lot of these celebrities that will never obliterate their image.
Right.
Never.
Is that a regret that you let your personal drug consumption out into the public?
I'm saying that more people need to be more truthful with themselves in order to be in the position mentally, physically, and spiritually to help someone else.
Shia Labeouf. In the early 2000s, 14-year-old Shia Labeouf became known among young audiences after playing Louis Stevens on the Disney Channel weekly program, Even Stevens. He was also the lead actor in the Disney movie Holes, playing Stanley Yelnats. Unlike other actors on this list, after his Disney Channel era, Shia actually went on to land some big Hollywood movies. This included Disturbia, Surf's Up, Indiana Jones, and especially Michael Bay's Transformer movies. He was given the lead role of Sam Witwicky, which he played alongside Megan Fox, though legal issues began when he got older in 2014, specifically 28 years old. On June 26, 2014, Shia was arrested at New York City's Studio 54 Theater and charged with disorderly conduct, harassment, and criminal trespass. Following the incident, Shia actually sought outpatient treatment for his alcoholism. He pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct, while the trespassing and harassment charges were dropped. 3 years later, on July 8, 2017, Shia was arrested in downtown Savannah, Georgia at around 4 a.m. for, again, public intoxication. Police body cam footage actually shows Shia cussing at the police officers when he's getting arrested.
I have rights, I'm an American. Come on, talk to me. You got me in my hotel, arrested me in my hotel for doing what, sir? Let's go. Yo, you really got these cuffs on me heavy, bro. They got cameras everywhere, you dummy. I got more millionaire lawyers than you know what to do with, you stupid stupid bitch.
He later claimed that the incident was due to alcohol addiction. He was sentenced to probation for 1 year, including time served, as well as to seek therapy to manage his anger and substance use issues. In September of 2020, Shia Labeouf was criminally charged with misdemeanor battery and theft. He pleaded not guilty. A judge ordered Labeouf into a diversion program in May 2021, with the chance of the charges being dropped if Shia would complete the program within a year. Later that same year in 2020, Shia was sued by his ex-girlfriend Talia Deborah Barnett, or better known as FKA Twigs, for sexual battery, assault, and infliction of emotional distress. The details of the case are very gruesome, so I'd rather just not say them here in this video, but just know they are bad. Shia Labeouf actually responded to the allegations in an email to the New York Times, stating, "I have no excuses for my alcoholism or aggression, only rationalizations. I have been abusive to myself and everyone around me for years. I have a history of hurting the people closest to me. I'm ashamed of that history and I'm sorry to those I hurt." There is nothing else I can really say. I mean, it's very clear that Shia Labeouf has an alcohol problem. I don't know about 2022, but it also seemed like he's just blaming abusing his girlfriend because of alcoholism. Like, I don't know if you just blame alcoholism and get away with it. Nah, bro, that's you. Anyway, that's not the point. Let's head on to the next one. Dana Plato. Dana Michelle Plato gained some popularity in the 1973 show The $6 Million Man when she was just 9 years old. She magnified her fame when she starred in the 1978 sitcom Different Strokes. And Dana actually became pregnant, and due to that, she was kicked from the show. So during my research, a lot of people in comments sections say that Dana Plato was extremely abused by the Hollywood industry. And honestly, I agree. After that, she appeared in independent films and was actually the first celebrity to appear in a video game. We've actually spoken about this video game in this video. And that's 1992's Night Trap for the Sega CD. Yeah, that was her. Toward the end of her career, Plato was given roles that were erotic. She appeared nude in Prime Suspect, Compelling Evidence, and in the softcore erotic drama Different Strokes, the story of Jack and Jill, the title of which was changed after filming in order to tie it to Plato's past. Dana separated from her ex-boyfriend Lanny Lambert in January of 1998. The same week, her mother tragically died of scleroderma. In desperation, she signed over power of attorney to an accountant who disappeared with the majority of her money, leaving her with less than $150,000. She claimed the accountant was just never found. During her March 1990 divorce, Dana lost custody of her son to Lambert and was given visitation rights. Then after that, she became engaged to Fred Potts, a filmmaker, but that also ended as well. She then later married again to actor and producer Scott Adkins. Y'all notice she was only dating people in the Hollywood industry, right? I'm sure it was just being desperate trying to get some more roles. So she wasn't getting any roles, and it came to a point where she actually had to end up working a 9-to-5. With no idea on how to make money next, in February of 1991, she robbed a video store.
Dana Plato had been in the limelight. When it ended, she did a couple of B movies and posed in Playboy magazine, but her career was going nowhere. By early 1991, she was working the counter at Al Phillips on West Flamingo, thrifty dry cleaners today. Then, out of money, Plato went to a nearby video store.
I had the door open, she came in, stopped at the counter, and she pulled out a gun.
Clerk Heather Daly recognized her immediately, but handed over the money, then called police.
And they caught her coming back for her glasses that she dropped when she jumped over the wall.
It was all over the newspapers. The radio team Johnson and Tofty did what DJs do.
We turned it into 6 different songs, as a matter of fact.
The next year, she was arrested for forging a diazepam prescription, which she spent 30 days in jail for. Dana later moved to Las Vegas, Nevada, where she struggled with poverty and unemployment. And like I said, at one point she was working a 9-to-5, more specifically a dry cleaning store, and customers would come in and recognize her and ask her, "Hey, what happened to your career?" Just imagine what that was doing to her mental health, dude. On May 8th, 1999, Dana and Robert Menchaca, her at-the-time husband, were returning to California, and they stopped at his mother's home in Moore, Oklahoma for a Mother's Day visit. Later on in the visit, Dana said she felt unwell and took some painkillers along with some muscle relaxers. She went outside to lie in her motorhome, which was parked just outside the house, and Robert and his family had to discover that she sadly died in her sleep. Well, she overdosed. It says here that initially it was ruled an accidental overdose, but with her history of drug abuse, they later ruled it as Dana's body was cremated and spread over the Pacific Ocean. Though that's not the saddest part. Remember when I said that she was pregnant years prior? Well, she once told a friend that she was extremely happy to have a baby because she'll, quote, never be alone again. Well, her son Tyler ended up growing up without a mother and sadly committed by turning the gun on himself at just 25 years old, 2 days before his mother's 11th year anniversary of passing away. Yeah, man, the story of Dana Plato is extremely sad, and like you could make a whole video talking about it because it's just like a horrible story of a woman being abused in Hollywood. Alright guys, that was it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it would be super cool if you guys could subscribe. And like I was saying, the next video is going to premiere live, and that is the second 1 million special. Please make sure to be there. Turn on notifications just for the premiere, then you could fucking take them off. I don't care if you have notifications for my channel. But yeah, I hope to see you guys there in the chat, and I'll see you guys next time I upload.